I'm ready for this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right.
You better be. Captain Marvel. Let's talk Captain Marvel.
Fuck women.
Oh. All right, I played the wrong intro. That's fine. That's fine. I can do it again.
It still sounds like it's being played through a fucking fart box to me.
It's still telling me poor connection. It's on my end. It's got to be. I don't know. Or Skype, or I need to restart my computer.
I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
Am I still, like, breaking up?
No, you're fine. Fuck the intro. Captain Marvel. DC Universe. This is not a review. We have not seen the movie yet. Neither one of us.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, we have not seen it yet. At first, I wasn't going to see it, to be honest. But I gotta be honest. I'll tell you what changed my mind was seeing Brie Larson in a Nine Inch Nails t-shirt, and I'm not kidding.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Dude,
it was airbrushed.
I am not joking. That is the reason.
It was fake.
No, what?
It was fake. It was fucking like a fan did that.
She wore the Nine Inch Nails shirt.
No, she didn't. They debunked it. You didn't see that article I shared to you?
What are you talking about?
I tagged you on Twitter that was an airbrush t-shirt.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Why would they do that? Are you
to
fucking
get,
with me right now?
Exposure to Nine Inch Nails?
Are you fucking with me? Nine Inch Nails is practically dead. They're my favorite band almost of all time, and they're
no.
like,
It's an actual story. It was airbrushed on.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was like a fan trying to get get rise out of like a Nine Inch Nails people.
No, shut the fuck up.
No, I'm dead. I'm dead.
No,
serious.
seriously, shut up. No, so shut up. I know
it's. I know the moment.
No, I know you're joking now. Now it's over. First I wondered, and now I know you're joking. So now it's done.
What do you mean? Look it up.
All I can see is Captain Marvel trailers.
Well, I mean,
I did look it up. It doesn't exist. I love that song. But no, Brie Larson isn't a Nine Inch Nails fan.
You hear me?
Yeah. Brie Larson.
That surprises me. She hates white people.
Oh, hate white men. Well, she didn't say that, Bailey. She said, I don't need white men telling me.
Oh, she hates white men.
Well, I had a fight with
like that. What about? Hey, let me ask you this: what about black men in their 40s?
Well, she wouldn't dare say anything about black men.
Why? Because then she'd be a racist cunt.
Right. Then she'd be going against her own thing. But no,
Let's talk about this shit, please.
I'm really gonna go see it. Seriously.
I am too.
I got in a fight with Haskell. Yeah. Oh, you knew? You read it?
No.
Did you say Haskell?
No, I said I have to. Like I have to go see the movie after all the shit I've been talking.
Yeah, I got in a fight with Haskell 420 about it. I love Haskell. He's a good guy, supporter, good dude.
What'd he say?
We just got in a fight about, Brie Larson and the whole situation, and he said it's all fake propaganda. She didn't say she hates white men. She said that she doesn't need a white man telling her they need to include more. So basically, out of her comments, all he got was they need to include other people more. And I said, no, well, that'd be fine. If she just said we need to include people more, that's just a statement she made that would have been like, okay, well, I guess, I kind of agree with that, I suppose, as long as other people, or whatever are needed and it's valid, it's cool. But that's not what she said. She said, I don't need white men telling me this and that. And then he started talking about reviewers with me. And then he said, well, yeah, it is bullshit that all these white 50-year-old males review black movies that aren't for them. And I said, okay, so if you're going to set that...
A Wrinkle in Time is a black movie?
Well, I think she was maybe talking about that it was like a kid's movie or something with black... I don't even know. I don't know what movies are what.
PG-13.
Dude, think of Jeremy Johns, right? He's a movie reviewer who does a great job. I like him more than almost anybody. He reviews Disney movies, kids movies, adult movies, horror movies, and he comes at it from the aspect of a fucking film critic, Not I only know white people movies. Apparently Brie Larson wants people segregated or something. So now you're saying only kids can review kids movies? How come adults are reviewing kids movies? So if you want to start there, we can go down the whole line. Well, now we shouldn't have black people reviewing certain white people movies. We shouldn't have men reviewing any women movies or movies that are supposed to be targeted to women. And
vice versa.
And you can't review kids movies. And do you see where this tunnel leads, you dumb idiot? Brie Larson.
No, because if she did, she would have never fucking said it. And by the way, that's not the only reason people are upset with what she said, because the cover of fucking Entertainment Weekly, this is bad for Disney. This is a really bad look. And we're going to get into exactly why this is a bad look. I get Entertainment Weekly. All right. I do. I got
what? What is this, 98?
Well, it was like a Verizon wireless promotion thing where I'd made so many payments on my account that I was eligible, you know?
Yeah.
And I got the issue in this week, and on the cover, it's a de-aged Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson dressed as Captain Marvel. The suit looks great, by the way.
By the way, Hollywood's perfect combination, because as you know right now, and anybody out there who rolls their eyes at this, what I'm about to say, before Bailey makes his actual point that I interrupted,
it's okay.
Anybody who rolls their eyes about this or says that I'm crazy or something or other like that, you need to. I will provide the list of movies for you. The clear indication. This is a clear target for Hollywood. White women, black man. That has been 100% clear for the last 3 years. And by the way, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I'm not, again, like this is ow fuck. This is what you have to do. You have to explain it. I'm down with.
What did you do?
I smacked my fucking arm off the boom arm of the mic.
Okay.
I'm down with a black woman and a white woman and a black man and a white woman and a black woman and a white man. I don't give a shit. Like all of us together. I'm attracted to actually every kind of person myself, so I don't give a shit.
Not me.
Well, I am, and I don't care. So I don't care black or white. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color you are. But there is a clear thing in Hollywood right now where they're pushing for, make sure there's a white woman and a black guy. So the white woman is there to represent white people because they still want to appeal to the general, race of the country. The most, 60% of the country is white or something like that. I don't know. So they got the white woman in there, and then they want to make sure they appeal to minorities, and they always make sure it's a black man. So it's a constant thing for a white woman.
It's Samuel L. Jackson.
So that's why in Captain Marvel, perfect. Samuel L. Jackson's black, she's white, works perfect for them. Now, in Star Wars, same thing. Finn and Rey, and you can look at every movie, and it's hundreds of times over.
Things.
Anyway, so that's the perfect combination, so they love it. Anyway, let's move on, and you can continue with your point, because I just want to bring that up.
Not to mention Stranger Things, too, by the way, the kids.
Oh, really?
It's a 2 for 2. Yeah, she's a fucking redhead.
What?
Yeah, like the redheaded chicks, like into the black kid.
Oh. Well, okay, so I didn't get that vibe in Stranger Things myself. I thought Stranger Things was fine.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's there. It happened.
Even, like, nowadays, remember the movie It and the kids? Like, I'm surprised that they didn't make the girl fall in love with the black kid instead.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, they didn't do it, though. But
There's fucking 5 white kids, and she chooses the black kid? Give me a break.
Hey, and here's another thing that I'm upset about. By the way, going back to It real quick, not to derive from what we're doing, which we are doing, but
I do got to finish my point.
You really do. But in the original It, they were calling the black kid an N-word and throwing stuff at him, and like then the kids fucking they fought back at the racist guy or whatever, and I thought that was kind of a cool thing that showed, how most people don't think like that.
It showed honesty for one,
right? And now I know that in the other one that takes place in the 80s, so maybe that didn't exist then. So I get that, but anyway, I've completely derailed this. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I've still got it. What I was saying was, I got Entertainment Weekly this week, and this pertains to the whole, like, it's not just the whole white male comment she made or whatever about A Wrinkle in Time. The cover of this Entertainment Weekly, as I mentioned, Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson, and I also did say that the Captain Marvel suit looks great. I think it does. She does look great.
I thought the trailers were actually good. Everybody was saying, like, that's the worst Marvel trailer. And I'm going to be completely honest. I've loved the trailers, and I got a 90s vibe from Brie Larson. She seems like a badass, and that, like, kind of that girl that's grumpy, but I like that. And I've had some ex-girlfriends like that. I don't know why. Sometimes I'm a little bit into that. I don't know what that is. Like Leah's kind of like that. She's got a resting bitch face. She's kind of like
she's admitted that too, by the way.
Right, and she's shy, but she's not a girl. Like, you know, so it's. I guess I'm into that kind of, and then she's got the 9 Inch Nails shirt, so I'm like, I really want to see this movie all of a sudden, and I think that 90s appeal really hit me. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
But it's like, I can admit that, like, she looks great. It's not that she doesn't look good in the suit. I mean, dude, let's be honest. A lot of people look good in the superhero outfits, and, you know, you can admit that. But, like, the cover, it reads, and I wish I had it on me, but I know what I'm about to say is not going to come back and bite me in the ass because it's going to be pretty spot on. It says, you know, Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson team up to battle an intergalactic alien race in 1995, comma, and sexism.
What?
That's what it says.
Wait, on the cover of Entertainment Weekly?
On the cover of Entertainment Weekly. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up right now, so I know exactly what it said, because I know I'm fucking spot on.
Well, you know,
okay.
I had to get up for a second, but you know what? I get that. I think that's. I get why they said that. Okay, so they're saying that because they're obviously bringing up that like the movie's under attack from sexist people, but that's bullshit. Because
no, that was before it became under fire.
Oh, really? So you're saying that they're battling sexism in the movie?
The movie itself is basically saying that they're battling sexism with the movie.
I don't get that, I guess. Did Wonder Woman say this?
Up and then we'll talk about that. Just bear with me for 2 fucking seconds because I want to get to that. I'm telling you, the fucking cover's not going to be here, and it's going to piss me the fuck off.
By the way,
I'm gonna go get it.
I had no idea who Captain Marvel was when I was 10, but I knew who Wonder Woman was because I watched the 80s Wonder Woman show, and I loved Wonder Woman when I was a kid.
Okay, for some reason, I don't see it. Anyways, it says something along the lines, but I know for a fact it says they battle an intergalactic, you know, alien in 1995, comma, and sexism. So when guys, even, like mainly guys see that, but even girls, they're like, wait a minute. So this is like a movie that pretty much is just going to make me kind of feel like shit. Like this is a movie just to be like, hey, women are here too. And it's like, we know that. And you brought up the Wonder Woman thing. Right. You follow the press around Wonder Woman, not at one single turn did you think to yourself, this is a movie for feminism. This is a movie to prove feminism and to prove that women can lead superhero roles. That was never, like, I've never felt that that's been an issue.
Who thinks they can't? That's the point. That's not even a fight or an argument or anything. What are they talking about?
That's the very thing. Those people that say that are indeed like the sexism thing. That's them doing that.
They're just making this up. Obviously, women can be superheroes. Obviously, men can be superheroes. What the fuck are they talking about? And anybody who's out there that thinks that they can't or something, I don't care. That's dumb. But oh my God, dude, they virtue signal.
And I posted it on Twitter this morning. I posted the photo. I have the side-by-side for Captain Marvel. Yes, it's early, whatever you want to say, but early usually proves a lot of shit, okay? Because usually people are hyped the most when they go see it for the first time. And their initial reaction is probably the most legitimate reaction. Okay?
Right.
And so you look at the scores. Wonder Woman's got, you know, an insanely fresh score from like approved critics, and then the audience rating is through the roof. So both sides. And for Captain Marvel, the critic rating is like really, really good because they would hate for this to fail because it would be a fucking punch to the face to feminism. But then you look at the audience score, the fucking popcorn bucket's turned on its side, and the audience rating at the particular point that I sent the picture was 37%.
Right.
Didn't like it.
And even if you were to say, like, because they're like, oh, well, it's under attack by people that hate whatever. Well, but even look at the critics, even wonder, because the truth does shine a bit. You know what I mean? The critics. So we know. Okay, so we can assume the critics are biased, and we can assume the audience score is biased a little bit. So with knowing that, Wonder Woman got a 93, Captain Marvel got an 81, and from the fans, Wonder Woman got an 88. And from the fans, Captain Marvel got a 31. But even if you gave that an extra 30, like let's say
it went down to 31.
Oh, it's at 31 right now.
It is?
Yes.
So if you go look at my tweet, it was 39. It's dropping.
So my opinion is the truth lies the truth lies in the middle. Wonder Woman is probably an.
Does it?
I think so. I think Wonder Woman is an 8 out of 10 movie. I think Wonder Woman's a great movie.
That's fair.
8 out of 10. I think Captain Marvel is going to be a 6 out of 10. And that's what I believe.
It currently holds a. I posted it a little bit ago.
I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to be a 3 out of 10. Like
no,
the audience score says 31%. That's a 3 out of 10. I'm going to say it's probably a 6. And by the way, do you know what other movie did about that same thing? Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Ghostbusters was the same. The critics were like, "Oh God, we can't really, 75." I think the critics gave it a 7. The tomato meter gave it a 75.
Because it would make the female lead look bad. It would make it that it was a bad decision to have women star in that role.
Right.
They want to protect that shit. They didn't need to protect Gal Gadot or Gadot or how the fuck you say that bitch's name.
Yeah, and originally,
they didn't have to protect her.
By the way, we criticized that choice of first too. If everybody wants to remember back 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was they casted her, we talked about it on this show. We were like, I don't know, man. She's really small. Like, she's gonna be Wonder Woman. Like, she's tiny and like kind of a model looking. Like,
I vividly remember when they casted her, I was upset because I was like, that's that skinny bitch from the Fast and the Furious movie. I was upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she doesn't have the build for Wonder Woman. But you know what? Fuck me. She blew it away.
Right.
She owns that role. And not just in the Wonder Woman movie.
Right.
She steals the show in Justice League. She steals the show in Batman versus Superman. When
Right.
Doomsday gets ready to kill Batman and she drops down and blocks the fucking death ray, stole the movie.
And Chris Pine is pretty good in the movie. He's not treated like a bumbling fuckhead.
Exactly. Joe, stop. Faggot, you're stealing my content.
What?
He plays Steve Trevor. And at no point was it like we're trying to embarrass the male gender.
Mm-hmm.
He was a tough guy. He was a badass. He sacrificed himself to save the people.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman defeated Ares. It was a 50-50.
Right.
And no one was crying fucking shitwolf about it either, because people walked out of the theater and they said, you know what? That was a fucking awesome movie.
Do you think some women, feminist sites, cried that Pine helped too much and it should have been left on her?
Of course. They probably were so upset.
I could see that argument.
Chris Pine fucked her. They were probably like, oh my God, they actually got to fuck. That's bullshit. Because in the movie, she says they don't need men for pleasure. Well, guess what? She wanted that dick, and she got it, and she cried when he died.
Wanted that dick. Oh, man.
Wonder Dick.
Dude, I want to clip that. She cried when she died. Or whatever.
But the thing is, it's like when Wonder Woman came out, there was no agenda. It didn't even feel like there was an agenda. They just did what they were supposed to do, and then let's make a good fucking movie. If Disney and whoever, Mike Eager, I think is his name, if they would have just fucking bolted down, written a good movie, made a good movie, there wouldn't be this backlash, this quote-unquote review bombing, because that's bullshit. If there's one fucking company that gets review bombed, it's DC. Right. I swear to God, this movie would have already been taken out of the fucking theaters if it was a DC movie.
So with DC, there's a different animal here, I think. DC hasn't had any problem with the SJW stuff. Marvel now has. And Marvel hadn't either, to be honest.
What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, neither movie had really been plagued by the SJW stuff yet. Neither one had until Marvel and Black Panther. So when Black Panther came out, you had people who they pushed the agenda of, the first time, and, you would have thought slavery ended 5 years ago, and all that stuff. And then you had people actually hating on it because of that. And then you had a big controversy. Now, Marvel had not seen that yet, and DC had not seen that at all. So
DC had seen quite a bit of controversy, but not in the SJW category.
DC's problem is that a lot of the people don't like it. That's the problem. And
that's not true. I proved that wrong. Okay. You're just wrong.
All right, let me rephrase that. Some people don't like it. More people don't like it than Marvel
fans.
No, it's just, Marvel is the Fast and the Furious, and DC is, or at least DC is trying to be.
Can't wait to hear this comparison.
I'm trying to think of a comparison. So if, like James Bond, like I don't know what the comparison is. Like Marvel is all kind of similar. Every movie is very similar and safe. Like it's like Britney Spears. She comes out with "Hit Me Baby One More Time," and then she's got to come out with "Oops, I Did It Again." They basically sound the same, but it does well. And she could come out with another 5 of those for the next 10 years. Just like Eminem, came out with his funny little goofy song with an accordion sound in it all the time when he was going to release a single. So Marvel doesn't take many chances and executes about a 7 out of 10 every time, in my opinion. Except for I do think Infinity Wars or whatever with Thanos and I thought these have been really good, the best stuff they've done. And also Guardians of the Galaxy. But DC has had some really great movies, but then some flops too because they're kind of taking risks.
Can I ask you a question? I don't want you to feel like I'm being defensive.
What?
Which one was a flop? Sorry, I didn't mean for the mic.
Which DC movie was a flop? I thought Batman vs. Superman was not. I thought Batman vs. Superman was just fucking discombobulated.
A flop in which sense? Like at the box office or like the movie itself?
I just meant like I didn't need to see that. Like I don't want to see it again. I'm not really into it. Okay. And I'm not. It's just.
So you're a part of the bottom 30%.
Maybe. I like
because if you don't want to see it again, you're a part of that. There's a big number that liked the movie that people just ignore.
I like the Christopher Nolan movies. Well, I think
it's hard to argue with that.
I really like the Christopher Nolan movies.
But again, and I've said this before on shows, that is an apples to oranges comparison because they're two totally different Batmans. They're two different types.
I know.
The Ben Affleck Batman is the comic book Batman, whether you like it or not.
I literally was going to say, this is the comic. It's way more like the comic books, where Christopher Nolan's is like a fantasy Batman or something. I don't know how to explain it.
I don't think that's the right word.
That's not the right word.
It's a plausible Batman.
A real world Batman.
Could happen.
Yes, you're right. Real world Batman.
Exactly. It's a reality Batman. Like
right.
Everything that happened in those movies could happen.
Right.
Plain and simple.
No, you're right. That is the correct. You got it. That's the correct comparison.
But the point I was trying to make, in a sense, this morning on Twitter was, people are claiming that Captain Marvel is getting review bombed. DC's been review bombed now since 2013.
I don't know. See, this is where I think you're wrong. So
I can't wait for this.
I don't think Captain Marvel is getting as reviewed bomb as you think. But remember,
I don't think it is.
Listen, it is a little bit. It is a little bit. You have to admit a little bit. I am on your side. I am somebody who even wants to review bomb it. I kind of wanted it to fail. Because I hate SJW shit. So there is a lot of people out there who have had enough.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Nobody cared that much to review bomb DC. They just didn't like it.
See, but that's untrue.
It's not. It's
because literally untrue.
So why did people review bomb DC? Why?
Ben Affleck had those sexual allegations come out against him right at the time Justice League dropped.
Yeah, but those SJWs.
As soon as that happened, you were going to have fucking people on the left go there and support a fucking movie of a guy who had sexual allegations against him. Period. Look at the numbers. Look at the fucking numbers for that movie.
I barely heard about that stuff that much, though. I know that they're there, but they're not even close. We the people like us who rallied against.
They're not even close.
People like us who rallied against Ghostbusters and who are rallying against Captain Marvel are in much bigger numbers than the people that complained.
Justice League.
What?
40% rotten.
By the critics?
Critics. Audience score 73% for Justice League.
Well, I mean, I thought Justice League
Man of Steel.
I thought Justice League was a 7 out of 10.
What?
Thought it was a 7 out of 10.
but it's not given a 7 out of 10. That's my fucking point. Is on the surface, people, they hear, oh, DC sucks. It's not good. Even fucking Leah did it a little bit ago. Fuck her. She's not here to defend herself. All right? She said it a second ago. But it's just untrue. She follows that blind fucking bullshit where people just spread this shit and it spreads like herpes. Oh, DC sucks. Well, not from the fucking numbers, it doesn't.
I don't think DC does suck, though. I don't believe DC sucks.
But everybody says it does, especially in comparison to Marvel. Like, you want to compare numbers, that's fine. I understand that. If you want to compare that since the DCEU started, that Marvel's, just since 2013, has made an additional $6 billion in their movies. Okay? DC's had 6, Marvel's had 13. Since 2013. I ran all these fucking numbers. Okay? Right. So if you really add them up, they have had more than double the movies, but they've made $6 billion more. So therefore, basically, DC would have to average $1 billion per movie, which is not that far off with the success of Aquaman.
Yeah, and
but my point, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling here, stop me at any point. I'm just trying to say that there is this notion that DC sucks and that DC doesn't know what they're doing and they're not doing it right. And I'm not going to sit here and say that they've done everything right because they haven't. And I'm not a fucking
But they
idiot.
have, but okay, but here's the thing. I think because I like DC better. That's always been my outtake. I love DC better. Superman and Batman are my shit. When I was a kid, it was Wonder Woman and X-Men. So X-Men is the only Marvel tie I have that I care about. I always thought, dude, when I was a kid, I'll tell you, when I was a 10-year-old kid in 1994, I thought Captain America and Thor were fucking gay.
Gay. Yes.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man. I thought Spider-Man was, never liked.
I didn't like, he shoots white stuff.
He's a faggot.
No, but oh god, I can see the comments on YouTube now. You know, I loved it until you guys started calling people fags and stuff. That was
get over it, you faggots.
Come on, man, we're joking. But no, I swear to
Seriously,
God,
I'm joking.
We're going to see that in the chat below. They're gonna be like, you guys were great until the anti-gay stuff.
Fuck.
We're not gay, anti-gay.
We're not gay and we're not anti-gay.
We're not gay and we're not anti-gay. All right.
We support the fags.
I'll watch a couple guys fuck. I don't care.
I won't do that.
Oops. But no, so going back to it, so my point here is that Marvel, DC does not suck, but you can't argue, nobody out there can argue because this is a fact. DC saw what Marvel was doing, and they were like, we got to do Justice League. We got to get on this. And so they fast-tracked everything, and it shows. They started with Superman, and I really kind of enjoyed Superman. Now, even that was critically acclaimed in the way that, oh man, Superman isn't quite like the Christ-like Superman that he was before as much. And, you know, he destroyed the whole fucking town and destroyed everything. And what the fuck was he doing? And
Small correction, though, it was not critically acclaimed.
Okay, my bad. I don't even know what that means, actually. I just said that. It sounded cool.
Well, it means the critics fucking praised it, and it's not true. I tried to throw that number out earlier, but
it was highly critiqued is what I meant to say.
Okay.
It was basically from a small, you know, I would say that movie was a 7 out of 10 from a lot of people's eyes. But I enjoyed it overall. I really did.
Just to add to what you're saying, Joe, that movie, Man of Steel, 56% rotten.
Wow.
75% approved by the audience.
I wanted to see number 2. And now Leah didn't like it. I watched it with Leah. Leah said it was dumb, and Leah's always hated Superman anyway, so I knew I wasn't going to get her to like that. She loves Batman, hates Superman. I get it. But, so a lot of people that love Batman or that hate Superman love Captain Marvel, and I said, well, Captain Marvel is Superman, so it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so this
I have to say, like, and I'm not hating on Leah, so I don't want that to be misconstrued. I don't understand how she could say that Man of Steel was stupid, but then she can praise every single fucking thing that Marvel does. Because we just watched Man of Steel because Keisha never seen it like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
When Zod and his army shows up at the end of that movie, the action in Metropolis, when all the fighting's going on, it holds up to what's going on right now, whether it be Infinity War or what's going to happen in Endgame. It literally blew my mind the other day to see how well held up.
Bro,
Like the scene when Zod tackles Superman and they go through multiple buildings.
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, this is unreal. Like,
You know
how did I feel when I first saw this?
You know what could have changed it for me a little bit? What could have helped it is if what's his dumb face that's Superman? If he had looked up and saw the buildings and like the first time they crashed into some buildings and shit blew up and whatever else, if he had turned and kind of looked in like horror and almost been crying, looking like he was going to cry because of it, and seeing people suffering, like, and he's worried, but then Zod like rams him, so he has no time to think about it. Now he's got to fight this guy again. If he showed that little tiny bit of emotion, like, oh my God, like, what, like, people are dying now because we're fighting, and like, but he's got no time, he's got no choice. That would have been a little bit. One little thing thrown in the movie would have made me feel a whole hell of a lot better. But no big deal.
But
I like the movie.
I feel like that happened though.
A little bit it did. It kind of did.
When he had to snap Zod's neck, that's one of the most powerful moments in any superhero movie I've ever seen.
Right. But see, that would have added to that, because then I would have said, like, oh my God, it's like he cares about the people so much that he's now going to do the thing he's not supposed to do. He wouldn't do, that Superman really shouldn't do, and kill somebody. And it's because of, he's thinking about, if I don't stop this, more of these people are going to die. Like, I have to do this. So
and remember that's what's happening. Zod is shooting the death rays toward that small corner where those kids and that mother is. And Superman's got him by the throat, and he's like, he doesn't want to do it, but then he does it. So he saves people, but then people realize that he's a monster. He just killed somebody.
Well, he's not a monster.
What, to them, he is.
Oh, maybe to them, they're maybe. I mean, to me,
he's an alien. That was the point of the movie. Is nobody really trusted him.
But if I saw Superman, if some guy was about to melt me with his red eyes and Superman broke his neck, I'd be like, that guy's a hero,
right?
But anyway, so it all falls apart for me after that Superman, because I wanted Superman 2. I wanted the next Superman, and we really never got that, kind of, in a way, because they rushed into the Justice League. And in my opinion, DC has corrected itself quite a bit. They've only gotten better. They've gotten better and better and better. Although I think the first Superman was a good start, and I know it was dark. By the way, I think I cried. I think I cried at that opening scene. I think when they had to send Superman off of Krypton.
Unbelievable.
Holy shit, dude. That is up there with, and I'm a guy in my 30s. Like, I mean, that is up there with the beginning of Star Trek 2009, where Chris Pine kills himself.
Yep.
And it both has to do with a baby. Now, that could be because we have kids now, and we're our frontal lobes, or whatever the hell we are, as dads now and having kids, we've got a little bit of a different reaction to kids stuff when you see babies and families and kids.
Of course. Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, maybe if I was younger, that wouldn't have bothered me as much. Although Chris Pine, it did bother me, and Leah was carrying Gavin in her belly that year. We're in the movies with Leah, with Gavin was in Leah's belly.
Yeah.
And also Brenna was in her belly for Star Trek Into Darkness. So all our kids saw Star Trek in a belly. But anyway, that scene was very kind of emotional, I thought. And I was like, damn, that was holy fuck. You were able to do that to me in a movie? Like, I don't cry for shit. And that was...
And by the way, that opening scene, all the way from that to the end, even when they're fighting the Kryptons in the streets, like, it just, at the end of the movie, I still remember the first thing he said to me. Well, the first thing she said was, that was awesome.
I said too much CGI, though. That was my only problem.
She goes, when did that movie come out? Which is weird that you said that. She goes, when did that come out? She goes, that CGI was amazing.
Yeah. And
I said, well, it came out in 2013. And she was like, wow. Like, I would have thought that would have been more today. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a little CG. I thought it was a little tough. I thought it was a little too much CG to me. I was actually not quite on your wife's plane, but I was really good.
I think you should rewatch it. And I'm not saying you're wrong.
I should
rewatch it.
I forget. I've only seen it 3 times total, so I'll watch it again.
Plus, it's a fucking superhero movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Yeah, you can kind of... You do get away with it more in superhero movies. In other movies, it's like, do less CGI. It's better. But so after that, dude, like, they really fell apart. What they should have done, they should have started with Superman, that first Superman movie. They should have moved right to Wonder Woman. and right to
No, I don't know about that.
or they should have started with Wonder Woman. Honestly,
I think they should have went from Man of Steel to the Batman, then to Wonder Woman, then to Batman versus Superman.
maybe. But what about Aquaman? I mean, I would honestly, dude. I thought they should have started with all the smaller things first.
Aquaman. Well, you see, Batman versus Superman. The ending, of course, is the beginning of Justice League when Diana Prince gets the file and they see the project that has Flash, Cyborg, and all that. Instead of throwing that in there, you just cut that. The fucking movie was too long anyways. It was about 3 hours. But
they had problems too. I mean, if you
have the inner conflict with Batman versus Superman, so you do Man of Steel, Batman, Wonder Woman, Batman versus Superman.
Right.
Once Superman dies, then you do Aquaman.
Right.
Because once you do Aquaman, you're giving that relief time because Superman's dead. Then after Aquaman, that's when you do Justice League.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you've established everybody.
Yeah, and that's what Marvel did. That's why Marvel did that better. Like, I'll just say, that's what I will say. But again, I think
and you know what, Joe? Everybody get ready. I don't disagree with you.
I know. And
because I can't.
I think DC is too heavy for some people. I think that's the problem for a lot of people.
It's too dark.
It's darker and it's more heavy, and Marvel is more fun and popcorn.
There's not as much comic relief in DC where there is now. They have moved a little bit more towards that. Look at fucking Shazam. But you're right. It's dark. It's more. It pulls and twists your emotions rather than you're just having fun. Oh, he's fucking webbing all over the city. Right? In Superman, you have to literally watch his parents die in the first 5 minutes.
Right.
Then you have to watch his Earth father die 20 minutes into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're watching like real like shit.
Yeah, it's very intense, and
I know we've gone off the rails here, and I apologize.
I know
I just wanted to make the point. It's been great discussion.
People are gonna love this. I think they'll be screaming at the thing. And we'll do a follow-up episode. I do want to say, if this is released, if you're listening to this in audio form and you downloaded this audio,
there's plenty more to talk about.
On Patreon, you guys can comment below on Patreon or comment below on YouTube in the comments section, and we'll respond to those comments for the part 2 of this, we'll say. And part 2, we'll give our reviews of Captain Marvel, maybe, if we see it.
I need to mention 2 more things.
We're not done. Yeah, I'm not trying to close this out. We're not done.
Okay.
We're not done. We're not done. No, you can continue. I'm done. I'm done for that.
I didn't know if we had any more plugs. But so I want to say, I'll start with this, and then I'll mention the thing about Brie. We just talked about Man of Steel for a very long time. And I got to be honest with you. I want to watch it right now. Like, and people, somebody on Twitter, they call me unabashed DC fan. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What do you want, a fucking Nobel Peace Prize? Of course. I've made no mystery that I'm a DC fan.
By the way, Bailey, I really love Superman for another reason. Want to know why? Can you hear this?
Yes. You want to talk about, because Hans Zimmer did the score?
Hans Zimmer, the man who did the soundtrack for The Rock and a million other movies that I love.
And one of my all-time favorite movies, Gladiator.
Right. Gladiator, amazing soundtrack on Gladiator.
Amazing.
Won awards. Pirates of the Caribbean.
All of the Nolans.
Yep.
All the Batmans. He did Man of Steel. And I want to say he did Wonder Woman.
Probably did, because he's
I'm pretty sure that like her theme song is Hans Zimmer. It has to be.
He's in with DC. So and also another one of my favorite movies recently, and I know that there's some critic about people criticize it a little bit, but I don't care. I love this movie, and I wish I could remember the name of it. What the fuck is it called?
Quick question, and I don't want to derail you.
Chris Nolan. Interstellar.
Did Hans Zimmer do Con Air?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
I don't think he did. It was similar to The Rock, but I don't think he did. But Interstellar is what I was thinking of, the soundtrack of Interstellar. I love the movie Interstellar.
Oh, okay. Well, he did the soundtrack to Inception, right?
Right. Inception's probably the second it might be the biggest song he did. That might be the one that people recognize the most. That and Gladiator and Pirates of the Caribbean, and maybe after that Interstellar, just because it's current. But I mean, we remember him from The Rock because that was more like a video game soundtrack back then. He used to do a lot of video game stuff. But anyway, we got off on Hans Zimmer, and we could do a whole show on Hans Zimmer too, because man, is he great. I love you, Hans Zimmer. If you're listening, I will come to Germany, and I'll put a fucking croissant in your ass. Oh, that's France, but whatever.
It still works. Fun fact, those I have bought all on hard copy. Those soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
I have all those.
I don't blame you. I would too. I've got some of them.
Because there is, and people call me crazy, I can literally drive back and forth to work and listen. I have.
Yeah.
I still remember driving to work when I first started my job now.
Yeah.
Or the job that I have now. I was literally, the day I drove there for my first day, I was listening to and this is no bullshit, the Dark Knight soundtrack.
Right.
I remember that. But anyways, so we talked about Man of Steel. You know, we mentioned Batman vs. Superman. We even touched on Justice League. That movie gets a bad rap. I loved You haven't seen it, right?
So here's my problem with Justice League. I got to watch it again because I saw it twice. And I saw both versions of it, and now I don't know what is what.
What do you mean you saw both versions?
There's an extended cut of that movie that's insane.
Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, so you're talking about the theatrical and the extended.
Exactly, and there's a bit of a difference.
The same thing for Batman vs. Superman, by the way. We have it's like the Justice Edition or something like that. The Dawn of Justice. Well, that's not the movie.
Justice Edition.
It's the Justice one. But it's 3 hours long. It's brutal. Right.
Yeah. It's like,
sometimes it drags, I won't even lie.
It is, but it's dark.
The thing I'll say about Justice League, Wonder Woman stole the show because right now, Aquaman is really blowing people away.
Right.
They literally took a movie about a fucking guy who can talk to fish and made $1 billion with it and made him a superhero that you can actually take serious.
Well, we talked about it years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe, and you did with me and everybody. We said, dude, how the hell are they going to make Aquaman not retarded? Like, I mean, how are they going to do it? And then when they casted Jason Momoa, we said, wow. That
was all we needed to know.
Right. And, you know,
I'll tell you, when I knew that this movie was seriously going to do big things, and don't give me that you're a DC blowhard guy, when they signed on James Wan to direct the movie.
I don't know about
that's when I knew. And then you seen the trailers and you were like, Jesus Christ, what is this? This is unbelievable.
I actually laughed at the trailer, to be honest. The last one that was out where, because Aquaman says some cheesy line or something, and I went, oh, God.
There was a cheesy line in a superhero movie?
Yeah.
What did he say?
It was really cheesy, man. Like, it was bad. To me, it was bad. It was like Roman Reigns type of stuff. I forget what it was.
He's got that Samoan blood.
Yeah, he was on the back of a car or something in the trailer, and he goes like, yeah, buddy, or something like that. And I went, oh, my God. What the fuck?
He doesn't say that.
I almost didn't go see it because of that. When was the last?
Did you go see it?
What was the last movie that came out? Was it Aquaman?
Yeah, it was Aquaman.
Yeah. Let me look it up. I'm gonna find the trailer because it's so fucking.
While he's looking that up, I just want to say that in Justice League, one of the reasons it probably didn't do as well as it should have is they chose Steppenwolf as the villain.
Right.
Most people don't know who the fuck Steppenwolf is.
How do you not know who Steppenwolf is if you like comic books, you know?
That's true, but what about the people that don't? Like, that's the thing. Marvel can bring
that's an 80s
through the door.
That's a 70s and 80s comic star too. That's not. You're right. I mean, even in the 90s,
like
it was a band in the 90s. In the 90s,
they know how to bring common people into the theater.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if they would have chosen, like, think if you would have done Justice League, you would have had like the Joker. And I'm not saying that's what they should have done, but if the Joker was the villain in Justice League, or if the Joker had a part in Batman versus Superman, that movie would have done amazing numbers.
Right.
But the thing is, they chose. But anyway, I don't want to get off topic because I want to finish this.
I think it might have been the Justice League trailer. It's the Justice League trailer where it's all right. Ready? Listen. It's the.
I dig it. Maybe temple.
Shall we?
It's good to see you playing well with others again.
Just like a bat. I dig it.
Maybe temporary.
Oh, something that was. There's a different trailer where he says something else that was like,
Man, you are really hurting yourself right now. I mean, you're just proving my point right now.
yeah. And this is. I'm not. You know, there's a what's the word? Perception.
Yep.
And
There is an invisible curtain that has been thrown on top of DC and a cloak. And people just like, oh, yeah, that's probably true. And they run with it.
You got me fired up, though, because I've seen the Marvel stuff a million times. I've only seen everything DC about once, pretty
There you
much.
go.
I can't wait. I'm watching this shit now. I'm going to go to my Xbox when we're done. After I get done with a million things I'm doing to my kids, I'm going to throw a Superman movie. I'm throwing everything on, dude. I'm watching everything right now. I'm ready to go.
Joe, do me a favor.
Masturbate.
Watch that shit in order.
No, I will. I'm telling you, man. I'm a DC guy. Like, I grew up with Batman.
I'm not saying you're not. By the way, I got to finish this real quick.
Go ahead.
I've tried
Go
5
ahead.
fucking times and I keep doing this.
Right.
You mentioned this earlier. DC is in, like, not recovery anymore because they're on the rise.
Yeah, they started running, and you were like, cool, and then they got shot in the leg, and then they were limping, and then they got to the hospital, and now they came out with crutches.
I would say when Justice League came out, they kind of got hit with a tranquilizer because people were like, wait a minute, we got way too much too quick.
Yeah.
But then they did Wonder Woman, and it was amazing. Now they've done Aquaman, and it's amazing. And now I'm going to end it with this. Because of the success, and Shazam comes out in 3 weeks, and I'm telling you, it's going to be fucking awesome.
Right.
All right? But with the success of Aquaman, and hopefully with the success of Shazam, unfortunately, Shazam got dealt a bad card because it's in between Captain Marvel and fucking Endgame from Avengers.
Shazam is the Ant-Man of fucking Marvel, DC, but whatever.
I'm going to choose to ignore that.
I'm just saying, you know, when I heard they're making an Ant-Man movie, I went, ugh.
Shazam is one of the original DC superheroes.
I know.
I mean, he at one point was outselling Superman in the 50s.
Right. Okay,
It's
maybe
unreal.
I'm wrong. Maybe I should have said maybe Shazam is actually more like Doctor Strange. But
I would compare. I don't know. It's a tough. I would more compare Shazam to like, because you're kind of just comparing the suits at that point. He's more along the lines of like a fucking Thor.
Yeah, that's true.
But the personalities are so. Anyway,
He's goofy.
with the success of, he's more of the Spider-Man.
Okay.
Flash is more of the Spider-Man, but that's to my point.
That's
With
'cause of the
success
age.
of these movies, they've now greenlit so many movies now for DC.
Yeah.
They're doing the Flash. They're doing the Batman because they need to. All right?
Mhm.
They're doing that, and they've also.
What are they going to do with
greenlit-
Batman if they got no Ben Affleck?
Well, he's going to work on the film. He is going to be a producer, and I'm hoping, and I'm telling you, this is pure hopeful, and I'm hoping that they go through with this. I want to see the storyline of Batman Beyond played out, but not, of course, to the T. I want to see Ben Affleck come to terms with the fact that he's too fucking old.
Right.
Because the fact is they chose Ben Affleck in Batman versus Superman, and he said that he's been fighting crime in Gotham for 20 years. So they have an old, grizzled Batman.
Wow. What a great point, dude, because
So
that would
bring
explain
Ben
it.
Affleck back. Do the Batman Beyond storyline. Let him pass the torch to the the new Batman.
Right. And that's
Bring
a way.
the young guy in, and then, boom, you take off with the Justice League.
That's a great idea because that would allow you to stay in this universe without being like, that's not the Batman from the first movies. But now you can say that's not the Batman, but now it's Batman, so it's okay. Wow. Good call. They should do that.
I know.
That's the only thing that's wow. Yeah, they got to do that
And-
because
'cause I'm
otherwise they
telling
got to reboot everything.
Exactly. And the thing is,
And they've got gold with Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Everybody else is gold. So
And the thing is too, like, how Alfred plays the command center role?
yeah,
That should be Batman. That should be Ben Affleck.
that's a great point.
Because if nobody knows what I'm talking about, the old Batman Beyond cartoon, call
Yeah.
me a geek, whatever.
Yeah.
When Terry McGinnis steps in to be the Batman with the red bat on his chest, Bruce Wayne, the original Batman, is the guy who talks to him in the earpiece because Alfred's dead.
Right.
You bring a young guy in, man. If you pick the right guy too, it can really take DC to a different level. You find a young dude that people of this generation can like look at and kind of, kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like look at them and be able to identify with them. Like kind of get a human-like person to play Batman like Batman Beyond was. And then you have the fresh Batman for Justice League, the fresh Batman for sequels galore. They need that.
Yeah.
And they're doing the Flash now. There's already talks of a fucking Green Lantern. I'll talk about that down the road. The Cyborg has been greenlit. And also, people have forgotten about this because there's too many fucking comic book movies coming out. At the end of this year, do you know what's coming out for DC?
What's
Joker.
That? Oh, that's right. But isn't that now the Joker's another confusing thing? There's the Joker from the this movie, which is a standalone outside the universe apparently movie. But then there's a Joker.
That's what they're saying. Yes.
But then there's
theory.
the
You want to hear it?
There's the Jared Leto Joker though.
I have a theory.
What's
you want
that?
to hear this?
This guy's not really the Joker. He's a copycat murderer.
I think that the Joker that we've seen in Suicide Squad will be the Clown Prince.
Wow.
He will be the guy that idolized the Joker. This is just a theory. So don't just...
But then he's got Harley Quinn with him. Like, that's so weird.
That's true. Okay. But they canceled the Joker movie and the Harley Quinn movie with Jared Leto.
Right.
My theory is that Warner Brothers has seen what Joaquin Phoenix has done with the Joker. And they've said to themselves, this is the guy we got to go with.
But man,
this is our Joker.
If that's the case, they fucked up Harley Quinn because they casted her perfectly.
Oh, well, they can still do it, though.
And I just jerked off.
Because, yeah, you're right. How come feminists didn't come out against fucking Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad?
I think they kind of did a little bit. A little bit.
I don't remember that.
Well, I think they had.
She was over-sexualized?
They butted heads a little bit. I think some people were like,
fucking cunts.
Great, she's a whore. But then other people were like, see her kick ass. So they actually people weren't on the same page for that one.
She literally killed the witch.
Nobody gave a shit. That's why, nobody talked about that movie really, but except for how bad it was having problems.
I would love to hear people's thoughts on my theory, by the way, about that Joker situation.
That is interesting. Yeah,
because
people are going to
Joe,
nerd
you
out.
think about it. You have Joaquin Phoenix as that Joker. And I know that because there's so much like hidden about that movie, like the story and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a prequel and it's set in like the 60s or whatever, somebody told me the other day, that is different. But you can still do this Joker role and you can have Harley Quinn get with this Joker because you can play it out. Like the Clown Prince was it was an imposter Joker, who just followed what the Joker did.
Right.
The real Joker. You can do that. But then, what the thing is, if the Joker movie is successful, you can use that Joker with, guess what? The fresh Batman.
Right. That's a good point.
And hopefully Joaquin Phoenix won't OD on fucking depressants. We don't need that shit again.
Man, I wonder if he'd fit into the movie, to the universe. He seems a little bit like Jared Leto's feels like this universe a little bit. Maybe a little too crazy. And Joaquin Phoenix, from what I've seen, feels a little bit more like another universe. He doesn't quite...
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is the Joker that Jared Leto said he was going to be, but he wasn't.
Right.
Joaquin Phoenix is the killing Joker. Well, just
right.
from what I've seen from the teaser trailer.
Uh-huh.
And that's a good thing.
But to me, it doesn't sync up with the comic book style DC movies we're getting. You know what I mean? Like the Jared Leto one did a little bit more, even though I didn't like that one. I have a feeling I'm going to love Joaquin Phoenix, but I wonder if I just don't think that's melds into the world that we're in right now with the Justice League.
Hot take alert. I got a hot take.
All right. Well, I think I just had one.
Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie is going to be amazing.
I agree. I think it's going to outdo all the DC stuff. I'm not joking.
Now that's a hot take.
That I swear to God to you.
You think this Joker movie is going to it's going to outdo everything that they've done in the past?
No, not Batman, not Dark Knight and stuff like that.
No. I exclude that. I'm talking about the DCEU.
Yes.
Okay, that's a hot fucking.
That's
going to
be a tough one because it's either going to fall silent a little bit, or it's gonna explode. Because what's going to happen?
You know when it's going to explode, Joe?
Everyone's wanted the Joker back.
When the first official trailer drops for this movie, it's going to fucking explode.
Right.
Because they dropped this teaser and people are still like, "What's going on here?" But when that first official trailer drops, people will explode. I
don't know if I could be wrong because we never saw a trailer explode like The Dark Knight.
Oh my!
If anybody remembers,
even the trailer for Dark Knight Rises, bro, we cannot discredit that because that was fucking insane too.
Do you remember YouTube? Everyone was watching all the trailers over and over again. People were doing their parodies of it everywhere. Like it took you. That movie actually helped YouTube big time. So many people became YouTube people because of the trailers to Dark Knight. And I'm not joking. If anybody doesn't believe me, go look it up. And what was that, 2007?
2008.
2008, okay. Yeah, that really launched YouTube. Like, I mean, big time. And it feels like yesterday, dude. It feels like yesterday I was watching those trailers. Oh, God, it feels like yesterday.
Joe?
Yeah?
I want to take you back to 2008. All right?
Before my son was born, and I had just purchased Melly.
First, let me go to 2007. When I was informed...
Please do it quickly, because I'm going to shit and piss myself.
When I went back in 2007, I want to talk about the time.
Oh, you know, you want me to go piss and come back?
Go piss. I can take care of this.
All right, I'll be right back. Well, I don't want to miss it, though.
All right. Well,
you want me to pause?
How about you just pause it?
Let me pause it. All right. Okay, we're back recording again. Yes.
Joe was gone, and I was listening to, and I'll get back to the 2007 thing. Joe was gone, and I was listening to some theme songs, and I brought up the Wonder Woman one. And he had mentioned earlier the Man of Steel thing, about how epic that soundtrack was, you know, Hans Zimmer and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'll tell you this, the one that stands out to me the most, that just felt the most epic was this song. Will we get hit with a copyright thing with this?
Yeah, we might.
How much of it should I even play?
Play like 7 seconds of it. You'll be all right.
Okay, let me see if I could find a good part for 7 seconds. Let me see. Okay, here we go.
I mean, the people on Patreon will hear it.
It's right here. Just that slow build. And of course, I don't know if I can do this, but then it builds to this.
Sounds like Sid Justice's theme from WWF. Oh, that sounds so bad over this thing.
Yeah, it does. That's the General Zod.
It reminds me of Sid Justice's theme.
It does kind of sound like that. If I had half the brain that you do.
If I had half the brain that you did, I'd have half a much of brain.
Or you know what he says? He goes, and I have half the brain that you do. And isn't it Kevin Nash when he says that? Kevin Nash starts laughing.
Yeah.
Because he's all like, I have half the brain that you do. And Kevin Nash just like looks to the TV camera and starts cackling. And then it goes back to Sid Vicious and he's like sweating. He's like, you heard me. Man, it's like when he's cutting that promo with Jim Ross in the back and he's all like, and I'm going to tell you. Can we do this one more time? Well, we're live, pal. All right, so I want to take you back to 2007 because we were mentioning the Dark Knight trailer and how it made us feel like you know what I mean, like it was so powerful.
Right. In
2007, I want to go back to when somebody told me there was a man who had been casted as the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
That man was the fucking dork from A Knight's Tale.
Mm-hmm.
Heath Ledger. And I had never been so disappointed in my life.
Right.
I thought to myself, you have to be fucking me in the ass.
Right.
That is the worst choice on the planet.
A lot of people said that. We were like, what the hell is what?
Everybody was saying that.
Yeah.
But then that first Dark Knight trailer came out, and I don't know if people can remember this. So let's fast forward to 2018. It drops. I had to hunt it down on YouTube. I found it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the trailer, and if you remember that first trailer, it had no Joker in it. None.
Right.
Until the very end. And it's the part when he kicks the door open to the big mafia meeting.
Right.
And he just does that little, and he does that, and I was like, whoa. And then it like just shoots to him like that, and he just goes, "We kill the Batman." And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I will never forget that feeling. I looked over at my friend Craig, and I was all like, dude, I don't know, I can't breathe right now. Because that's how big of a Batman fan I am.
Yeah, that was some shit, man. That was some crazy
When
shit.
I saw that Joker, Joe, I can just remember, like, it was like my heart rate was going through because I couldn't stand the thought of having to wait for this movie.
I know.
And then when I don't know if
That's why we watched the trailer so many goddamn times. It ruined it a little bit because you saw every Joker scene, it felt like, by the time the movie started, and you were like, oh, I know this so well, and it kind of felt out of sync with the movie because of that.
Well, when the second trailer came out and they played like some of the part from the dinner party when the Joker busts in, you know, and he's like stealing the champagne, and man, when he holds that gun up and he says, "Where is Harvey Dent?" You know, and he gets quiet, then he just looks at that old man, he's like, "Where's Harvey? Have you seen him?"
Yeah.
It's so funny, but I want to say that I remember. And I mentioned, I don't know if I've told this story before or not. I think I have, but me and Keisha were going to the theater one night, and I thought to myself, I'm going to surprise her with fucking Batman tickets. How gullible was I? I'm going to surprise my chick with tickets to Batman.
It is kind of funny.
So I buy these tickets, and you're going to love this story.
Uh-huh.
She cried.
For the tickets to Batman? That's hot.
She was so upset that I went ahead and bought tickets to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
To Batman. She cried. She was so upset.
Wow.
I'm not making this up.
That's some crazy shit, man.
We almost didn't go, so we go. Fun fact. She had to sit next to this one dude, this big fucking country bumpkin, who was chewing tobacco the whole time, and all she could smell was sour apple skull. Anyways, we watched the movie.
Mm-hmm.
She came out, and she was all like, that was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Really?
Okay. But I remember when we were in the theater watching this movie, and you know, like you mentioned, we just kept watching this trailer over and over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie doesn't start like a normal movie does. It just immediately just sky cam, big building, window breaks.
Right.
There is no like credits or anything like that. It just goes. And I remember seeing the Joker each time he came on camera and just being like, I didn't really know how to feel. Like, I was overwhelmed by how insanely creepy, yet funny, powerful this character was. Because it was like you couldn't look away when the Joker was... There was no fucking way you were taking a piss break when the Joker was on the camera.
Right. Yeah, dude, it was like you had to see this shit. And you wanted to see all the scenes again, too. You're like, I had to see
And that was the thing. You would like go on YouTube and try to hunt down like clips from that movie, but you had to wait till it come out, that it came out. But I remember, dude, being in the theater and seeing the scene where he goes into the mafia meeting and he shoves the fucking pencil in that dude's head and just kills him right there.
Right.
He does that. He fucking had that little savvy line when that dude was all like, "You think you can just steal from us and get away with it?" And he just goes, "Yeah." But you know, it's true. Like, I don't even remember how we got to that specific topic. I think we were talking about, you know, the Joker and how it's going to outdo everything that DC's done and all this.
Yeah, it just was like, wow. Like, I mean, because you could talk about that, you could roll into all this. It's amazing what superhero movies have become all of a sudden, kind of. You know, I mean, this is not. You know, years ago, you would have loved for this stuff to have happened. And
sure.
It's crazy where we are right now. Like, it really is.
Well, it's also a cause of oversaturation in superhero movies.
Yeah, I've actually about had enough, to be honest. But before we didn't have, you know, superhero movies were a little too goofy back in the 90s. This is the best time ever. Starting with probably Batman, I think, you know, the Christopher Nolan Batman was when you were like, wow. That's when these movies really took off, because once everyone saw what Batman did, they were like, we got to do ours now. And
I will credit I will credit Spider-Man because I think Spider-Man really gave a good shock to we can do superhero movies. Like they've done them before. But it wasn't until that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when shit really was like, okay, we can get crazy with this now. We can do these big expensive Hollywood shots, these non-practical shots. Because we were coming off the fucking cusp of Batman and Robin with fucking Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. Sing! Sing! You know?
Yeah,
we're coming off of that. And then we'd see this Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which I didn't like. I did like Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock. That was great. But like you said, it wasn't until that dark Batman Begins when shit changed.
Right.
Then you got Iron Man.
And then everybody tried to do that kind of, and it was like, well, you know, it just kind of got, like you said, everything always gets oversaturated and everything. And listen, we got to wrap this shit up. Is there anything else you want to say about Marvel, DC, whatever?
I'm going to give Captain Marvel a fair shake. I'm going to watch the movie. I don't want people to get this notion that I'm blindly hating on this movie. It's not that I'm hating on the movie. I'm pointing out the facts that this movie is being praised by critics while the audience are shitting on it, but there's still this perception that it's an amazing movie. As to where the DC movies that we talked about excessively on this episode have the exact opposite, where it was being critically destroyed, but audiences were praising them.
Now, I don't have anything else to add to this. We're going to see Captain Marvel over the weekend. Me and Bailey will probably follow up with all you guys about this. All I can say is if you're that hardcore that you made it through this whole episode and you're listening right now still,
I love you.
First of all, we love you. Second of all, please leave a comment below, down below, saying Captain Marvel's bush. And also, I want to say think about becoming a patron because that's the stuff that's going to keep me able to do this and keep us able to do this. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can download all of these conversations and podcasts in full.
Thanks for the mic.
In full audio form. And then you might get Bailey paid finally enough, too, because right now...
I've been paid well enough. I'm happy.
Well, that blowjob is... that's free.
You know,
that's a free thing. But no, seriously, we need you guys to support, and plus you're going to get all this content, so much content on my Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You download the app for free. Check it out. Give it a try. $5 a month, $1 a month, whatever. You're going to spend shit on bullshit. And if you're really enjoying this, $5 a month, I mean, you're going to get a bunch of shit. And speaking of that real quick, I just want to shout out the producers of the Joe Cronin Show, people that are above and beyond on Patreon, $25 and above, because they're the ones that are supporting Mega on there. They're going above and beyond for the fun and to be producers. So Justin Mcneil, thank you, man. He is the top patron. I just want to say thank you to him. Gary Metzler, Mikey Too Crikey, Big Bad Ads, Jacob, Gerald Armstrong, Nikki J, Jabroni Jabber Podcast. Check out his podcast on YouTube.
Was that one guy's name, Mikey Too Ikey?
Mikey Too Crikey.
That's a great fucking name.
It is a good name, yeah. And he's at $35, so he's a fucking beast.
Damn.
Frog Kid. Frog Kid. Ryan Pelletier at $25. Steamy Wet Broccoli.
That's a great name, and that's a real one.
What, the Frog Kid?
I like the Mike Pelletier. That just sounds fucking awesome.
Oh, it's Ryan Pelletier.
Ryan, that's even better. It sounds like he's a fucking Olympic gold medalist or something.
Sounds like he's a pitcher.
He does kind of say, he sounds like a relief pitcher.
Well, you're going to love this next one then because he's at $25 a month and his name is Steamy Wet Broccoli.
That's a great fucking name. That's right up there with Brett the Shitman Fart.
That's good. Matt Gersey's next. Owandi Big M. Owandi.
Owandi is the bomby.
Our buddy.
That was gay. I take that back.
Bomb yourself for saying that.
Yeah, that was awful.
Coop,
God damn.
Coop the Comedian. We love you, Coop. I mean, or he thinks we don't.
Or as Iceman calls him, Coop the Crickets.
Oh my God. Does he really call him that?
That was one of the most savage things I've ever seen.
Wow.
Coop posted a video of his stand-up, and Iceman was like, more like Coop the Crickets.
Wow. I think Coop's funny, but yeah, that audience sucked that night.
Yeah. What a savage fucking burn, though.
The Bear 1322, Broken Lion, classic guys. The Bear and Broken Lion. Those are OGs.
Hey, shout out to the Bear as well. He's a patron of mine.
See, thanks, man. The Bear loves everyone, dude. The Bear's been around for a long time. We'll blow you, Bear. Also want to say thanks to Broken Line. He went from 10 to 25. Gabriel Rodriguez, new patron. Gooner Chiefs fan. Nicholas, Boston Supreme. Anybody else? And AJ, no, he left the Patreon, so I won't shout him out.
Fuck AJ.
Bye, AJ. Thanks for the support, though. I think he'll be back. I think he just had an issue. But no, seriously.
Love you, AJ.
Love you, AJ. I was just joking. And that is it. I think I went through everyone, and stay tuned for part 2 of this. And again,
the review.
Right, and watch all the ads. If you're on YouTube, make sure you see all the ads. Maybe we'll get a couple bucks on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, don't be a cocksucker and skip the ad.
Well, can you believe all those people on Patreon right there that I just listed? And meanwhile, this video from ads will probably make $8.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Fucking retarded.
One patron.
So if like 70 people become a $4 patron, like that would blow things away. Check out Bailey's Patreon. He's got a bunch of shit that he releases on there too, and you know, I love it. I'd like to just I've tried to buy Bailey out like 70 times. I'll just put his content on my Patreon. So I like
Patreon.com/JBRadio.
Check out Bailey's Patreon. Become a patron. Because you know what? When you guys do the support, and you already do support like crazy for me, but when you guys support shit that we do, you know, when we see the numbers go up, we're like, damn, yeah, people like this. Let's go. But sometimes when you, especially when you're smaller, you know, you get that encouragement, you want to keep going. But when you see nothing, or when you see dropping, you know, you kind of think, well, maybe this isn't working, I guess. So if you enjoy the stuff, whether it's Bailey or me or whoever, feed into it, support it, because I support all the people. That gives us the fire. Yeah, you're like, well, this is worth it. They care that much. Like, so this is good.
We were talking about this in DMs the other day, like the way people were giving feedback and reacting. And even if it was good or bad, the fact that people were reacting still gave us the drive and the fire to just keep bam, 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 you know, doing what we do. Yeah. And I got to be honest, people are really going to be saying it was worth the wait today, because we have put out some fucking content this morning.
Yeah, quite honestly, I'm going to release this before the other stuff. This is so damn good. It's got to get out there.
Yeah.
I don't know
by the way, what was the runtime for this? It's fucking forever.
1 hour, and we're going to hit 1 hour and 14, 15 minutes here.
It's a special episode. That's technically like 8 episodes. Can we count that?
Yeah.
Break it up into 10 parts. We could
break this up. I mean, I count this part 1. I think we come back after Captain Marvel, and we bring this up again maybe, and we get into the people's comments down below and shit like that. So that's our next part 2 of this. I think
reviewing this movie next week, and listen, I'm going to need help because I'm not up to date on MCU, but I'm still going to give the movie a watch. But I think next week we should absolutely review this movie, and then we can really judge where the state of the MCU is going to be going forward, because
you got to get up to date on this.
I know. I really do.
I used to think Marvel sucked. Dude. I'm watching this, dude. I used to think Marvel, whatever. I'm into this now too. Like, I can't believe it.
Bro, there's so many movies. It's overwhelming.
It is. You know, the one that I didn't really get into was the Captain America ones. The first Captain America I loved.
Oh, I did. I was just getting ready to say the first Avenger was fantastic.
But after that, the Winter Soldier stuff and everything, I didn't like those ones.
No, I liked the Winter Soldier, but I didn't care for Civil War.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I
was calling it the curse of the third movie there for a while, because I thought that Iron Man 3 was abysmal. That's actually recognized as being pretty abysmal, by the way.
I thought the second one was the bad one, wasn't it?
The third one's pretty fucking bad.
What's the one with Mickey Rourke? Is that the second one?
I think that's the second one, isn't it?
I thought that was the one that people thought sucked.
Well, then you had that. Civil War kind of sucked, and ironically included Iron Man. And then people, listen, I'm going to catch flack for this. Thor Ragnarok, I know people like.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was trash.
Thor was, so I didn't think it was trash, but what I didn't like about it was Thor was completely out of character for...
That's what I didn't like, is they made him, this whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing took the world by fucking storm.
Right.
So then Thor became a Guardian of the Galaxy, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I liked the first Thor movie. I was like,
by the way, Iron Man 2 was the one with Mickey Rourke.
Right.
And it holds, you're right. You're absolutely right. It holds a 7 out of 10, which is actually pretty low for Iron Man.
Yeah, I thought 3 did better. 3 was much better, but...
It might have. I'll let you know in like 2.5 seconds.
I like them all, and I think it's because of Robert Downey Jr.'s charisma. I think that
It didn't do a ton better. It's got a 7.2, but it was an improvement.
He's so fun and stuff. Like Robert Downey Jr. is perfect because, like, you know, lots of women are like, "Ooh, I love him" and stuff, and it's like, and then guys like want to be that dude because it's so cool. So like that's the classic way of rolling in the audience, and they did it. He did that. You know, it's crazy. I've been thinking about him getting blown away.
Next week we're going to review Captain Marvel. We'll decide where the MCU is, and I'll try. Listen, there's no fucking way I'm watching 20,000 movies in 1 week. It's not going to happen. So you're just going to have to fuck off with that. Mm-hmm. But think about it. Captain Marvel opens up today. Shazam opens up in 3 weeks, and then Avengers Endgame opens up 3 weeks after Shazam. Wow. So we're going to be overloaded with a lot of superhero movies. And I don't even think that's the only one after Endgame, because obviously Joker's in September.
Right.
Anyways, we got a lot of shit to do, but we got to get out of here.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Hey, I have a long one. Goodbye. Bailey and Cronin.
Review bomb Captain Marvel.
Leave comments. We're going to read them in the next part, too. So, bye.